I'm Bob Elder, the producer and host of America's most successful college and professional football show, Football Forecast Weekly. You know, for the past 5 years, millions of viewers have watched this entertaining and informative weekly syndicated show to help them better understand the lines and movements of college and professional football scores. The one thing that sets Football Forecast apart from all the other sports shows of this type, besides, of course, its winning percentage, is simple. It originates from the city where all the action is, and that's Las Vegas. Our lineup of top handicappers all live in Las Vegas. They all have the insights, and they keep their fingers literally on the pulse of the sports happenings in the city. They don't just fly in for a day or make those key calls to unnamed sources. These handicappers, Dennis Tobler, Professor Gordon Jones, and Dave Hammer, are the men who influence the movements you hear about in Las Vegas. Football Forecast Weekly is the one program other handicapping shows watch weekly with interest and with respect. What you're about to see is a sampling of this professionally produced 28.5-minute show that is now available for your market on a weekly basis. As I stated earlier, one of the real strengths of Football Forecast Weekly is the fact that we tape the show each week right in Las Vegas. Our name has expanded this year, but one aspect that remains consistent is the handicapping of a man who is the heart and soul of this show. He's been regarded as one of the best in the business for over 20 years with a 63% winning percentage on television. And that, of course, is Dennis Tobler. Big Ten, where Michigan looks like they're going to wrap up the title, go out and play Washington in the Rose Bowl if the scenario stays pretty much the way it should. But they've got a tough game this week because they're taking on the Fighting Illini, Illinois. Illinois looking for a bowl bid. The Freedom Bowl's been mentioned as well as others. And Michigan a 10-point pick. How do you see this one?
Well, here's one situation that may answer your first question also. Michigan's favored by 10. Illinois needs a bowl bid here. They need a win or to play well. Well, they won't do it. That's simply put. Michigan is a very fine team. They'll control the ball on the ground like they did last year against Illinois when they ran 81 plays to 48 for the Illinois side. This year, the game switches to Illinois, but it won't make any difference. Michigan has the ability to control the ball, and with a game breaker like Desmond Howard going this year, that's got to be worth 14 points, 2 touchdowns right there, Bob. I think that Michigan will kill Illinois in this matchup. I can't help but think back to that loss Illinois suffered at the hands of their arch rival Northwestern. And if you can't beat Northwestern, how are you going to beat the Michigan Wolverines?
Last season, the Professor, Gordon Jones, did weekly segments on Football Forecast Weekly, as well as making appearances on other shows. But this year, he'll be seen with his valuable insights and selections only on Football Forecast Weekly.
We're going to jump in on Dallas. They're the team that's getting better along with their coach week by week. Jimmy Johnston improving, so is Aikman. The other team, Sam Weichel, Alibi Sam of the Cincinnati team, getting worse week by week. It's a 6.5-point game. Let's go with the trend. Points plus makes this about a 15-point game. The other one, Washington last week. Let's try them again. In fact, with the spread dropping to 13.5, we make them twice that, about a 27-point choice, because they're just the best team in football this year, better than New Orleans, better than Houston, and Cleveland, even with a few wins, they're still in the bottom quarter.
Every show has their own hot new handicapper. That's a man who's caught fire in Las Vegas through hard work and endless dedication. Well, last year, Dave Hammer joined Football Forecast Weekly and became an instant TV success, though his track record before was phenomenal. Game that I love. It's out in Los Angeles. Two divisional leaders right now are going to be clashing. The Los Angeles Raiders are going to host the Buffalo Bills. Now, the point total is 43. Analyze this one for us.
Bob, in this one, I like the over 43. What you've got here last year is a replay of the game where Buffalo went into L.A. and scored 38 points. The Raiders scored 24. That adds up to 62. That's quite a bit over 44. Another thing I like about this is basically you've got the same offenses intact that were there last year. Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas getting over 100-plus yards a game. Last week, Buffalo turned the ball over twice and threw 2 interceptions and still scored 24 points. Another thing I like about this is that the Raiders are averaging over 19 points a game in scoring, and Buffalo's averaging 29 and better. So what it adds up to is a real high explosive offensive game, in my opinion.
Well, there you see a sampling of Football Forecast Weekly. The name of our show the past several years has been upgraded to be even more timely. It was Football Forecast 90 and 91, and now it's just Football Forecast Weekly, a truer and more consistent title. This show was successfully carried in over 45 different television markets last year, and this year, Football Forecast Weekly will be even more successful. It's becoming a must-view program for the true football handicapper. The shows are produced every Tuesday in Las Vegas. Your station has the option to downlink from a satellite or receive the show by Federal Express to air on either Thursday, Friday, or early Saturday morning.
From Las Vegas, it's Football Forecast Weekly. Starring Dennis Tobler. With the Professor Gordon Jones. And special reports with Dave Hammer. And now, the host of Football Forecast Weekly, Bob Elder.
Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Football Forecast Weekly, the show that each week right here on this station gives you the insights and the information that you need to help better handicap and predict both college and professional games.